You see them absolutely everywhere, right? On menus, on concert tickets, posters. That little black and white square, the QR code, has become this portal to our digital world. But have you ever actually stopped and wondered what is going on inside that jumble of pixels? Well, let's find out.
I mean, that's the real magic here, isn't it? How can this simple-looking pattern hold a whole web address, or all your payment info? And what's even crazier, how does it still work perfectly fine when it's torn or smudged, or has a company logo smack dab in the middle? That's the mystery we're going to solve today.
All right, so to start, let's peel back that first layer and take a look at what this everyday object really is. Okay, so at its absolute core, a QR code is really just a physical way to see binary code. It's a language of ones and zeros. Each little black square, they call it a module, is a 1, and each white module is a 0. Your phone's camera just reads that pattern and translates it. Simple. Or so it seems.
But the amount of data it can hold is just incredible. The sheer density is mind-boggling. A single high-capacity QR code can store up to 4,296 letters and numbers. We're talking about pages and pages of text, all squeezed into one tiny square.
So, how in the world does a scanner make any sense of all those ones and zeros? Well, it's because the code isn't random at all. Not even close. It's actually a highly structured blueprint. So let's look at the anatomy. You know, every single QR code is built from a few key parts. You can think of them like the skeleton and the organs that give the code its function. You've got the big finder patterns, alignment patterns, the data itself. Each piece has a really critical job to do.
First up, you have the finder patterns. Those 3 big squares in the corners, they're impossible to miss. And they're the very first thing your phone's camera looks for. They basically scream, "Hey, I'm a QR code over here." And they instantly tell the scanner how the code is oriented, even if it's upside down or sideways.
And this is where it gets really clever. There's also an alignment pattern. It's a smaller square that helps fix any distortion. So if the code is on, say, a wrinkled piece of paper or a curved coffee cup, this little guy lets the software stretch the image back into a perfect grid so it can get an accurate read. Next up, you've got the timing patterns. These are the lines of alternating black and white squares that connect those big finder patterns. They act like a ruler. They tell the scanner exactly how big each individual module is, which creates this perfect coordinate system to locate every single 1 and 0.
Okay, so we've got the structure down. But how does actual information, like a word, get translated into all those little black and white squares? This is where we get into the code's secret language.
It's actually a pretty involved process. The data doesn't just get dropped in. First, the text is converted into numbers. Then, the code adds what's called metadata, so information about the information, like what type of data it is and how long it is. Finally, it's all bundled up into these 8-bit chunks, ready to be placed on the grid.
Here's a really simple example. To encode the word hello, each letter first gets mapped to a specific number from a standard chart. So hello becomes a sequence 17, 14, 21, 21, 24. And that sequence is then converted into a long string of binary.
And here's another thing. The data isn't laid out left to right like you're reading a book. No, the data stream is poured into the grid following this specific zigzag path, flowing up and down in columns, carefully weaving around all those permanent structural patterns we just talked about. It's an incredibly precise layout.
Now we get to the most ingenious part, the feature that makes these things so reliable in the messy real world. QR codes are literally designed to survive damage.
And I'm not exaggerating here. The engineering that went into their durability is just remarkable. They are built with the expectation that they're going to get scratched, smudged, or even have parts totally covered up.
So, the key to their toughness is this. Not all of the squares are unique data. A huge chunk of the code is actually dedicated to something called error correction. As you can see, at the highest level, a full 30% of the code is just redundant information, designed specifically to rebuild parts that are missing or can't be read.
And that number, 30%, is crucial. Thanks to a brilliant algorithm called Reed-Solomon error correction, a QR code can have up to 30% of its surface area completely destroyed, and your phone can still mathematically reconstruct 100% of the original data. That's why your torn concert ticket still scans.
There's one last little trick to make sure it's readable, and it's called masking. See, if you had huge blobs of all black or all white squares, that could actually confuse a scanner.
So to prevent that, a final pattern is laid over the code, which flips some squares from black to white and vice versa. It just balances out the whole look of the code, making it as easy as possible for a camera to read.
So, when you add up all this clever engineering, it's really no surprise this technology became the global standard. Let's just take a quick look at exactly why the QR code won out.
I mean, when you put it side by side with the old 1D barcodes you see at the grocery store, it's not even a contest. QR codes hold way more data, they have incredibly powerful error correction, you can scan them from any angle, and, this is a big one, they're based on an open, license-free standard, so anybody can create and use them for free. So the next time you scan one of these, just remember what you're really looking at. It's not some random pattern of squares. It's a precisely structured, self-healing, high-density data container that was brilliantly designed for the real world.
And that really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple, everyday objects that we completely take for granted are hiding this much genius right there in plain sight?